it wasn't easy, but we'll take wins as they come. Defensively, we really did a really good job of locking down, especially in that first quarter. Offense is going to come. We're not worried about that, but just defensively, I thought we had a really good game.
James, you had to put in ice after. Is it just precautionary or you tweak anything? Or?
Yeah, with Michael, but ice and ready to go into this.
When you said you probably missed him on purpose just to make it in.
Coach messed me up when he was saying make the first one and miss the second one, and I did the opposite. So just happy I made it. I came with me.
Mike said defense is ahead of things right now. Does that surprise you, given the type of talent you have defensively?
Yeah, for sure. We've been together a few times in the summer and just training camp. So we're a little bit ahead, and we're doing a really good job. We just got to continue to get better, continue to learn, and figure out the lineups and what lineups feel really good defensively, and that's going to come with games being played. So we're not worried about that.
How about you for making good placing in terms of running the point and being in your heart for the defense? How are you getting into
just figuring it out. There's nobody I can really talk to. Just as far as who's been in my position. So I just got to go out there and just figure it out. And other than the turnovers and making shots is going to come. I put too much work in not to make shots. So but the turnovers and making plays.
Alright guys, so the Rockets just got done playing the Pistons, and James Harden had another phenomenal performance. Now, the last game the Rockets played, they played against the Trailblazers. It was a close game, but in the end, James Harden led the Rockets to a win, and he really showcased what he was able to do. They were double teaming him all game. They were putting their best defenders on James Harden, and he was still scoring. Whenever he wanted to score, James Harden was scoring. And Damian Lillard, who is pretty consistent, didn't play so well against the Rockets. He was just having an off night. Now, if those teams were to compete against each other in a best-of-7, I want to know down in the comment section who you guys think would win, because there's a lot of talk about, the Trailblazers winning in a 7-game series on Game 7. So most people think the series would end 4-3 with the Trailblazers winning. Me personally, I think the Rockets would win, and I'm not sure it would actually go 4-3. That's just my opinion on it, but it is what it is. So anyways, before we get in this video real quick, I got a video linked in the description which outlines some investment advice. If you guys want to learn how to start making some money and want to, figure out how to start saving more money and doing stuff like that, there's a video linked in the description which can help you guys start earning more money. It's free, doesn't cost anything, so you guys want to check out the video, see what it's about, links in the description below. But anyways, man, back to what I was talking about. So there's a lot of talk about, not only James Harden winning MVP this year, which everybody thinks he's going to win, but also about the Rockets winning a championship. And there seems to be two sides to this story. So there's, the people that believe the Rockets are truly the best team in the NBA, and then there's people that believe the Rockets are the best team in the regular season. You don't really see too many people saying any other team is better, but you see a lot of people questioning whether James Harden can continue this performance into the playoffs. A lot of people seem to think that, once the playoffs start, he ain't gonna be scoring 30 points a game. He ain't gonna be doing what he's been doing to all these different teams, which could be true. Well, you gotta think that James Harden, once the playoffs start, is really gonna step up his performance this year, because that's always been his Achilles heel. Once these playoffs start, the Rockets seem like they're, this unstoppable team, and then they start playing against whoever they're going to play against in the first round or the second round, and they don't do so well. And that's been what's happening the past 2 years. James Harden, it's not that he got significantly better. The Rockets overall are better with Chris Paul, but he's just playing at a different level. He improved all the things that he was weak at to make his performance significantly better this year. Before, he just cared about scoring. That's all he cared about. It didn't matter if they won, lost, it seemed like he was just so focused on scoring the basketball. That's what he wanted to do. He wanted to prove himself as a scorer. Well, the past 2 years, he's already done that. So now it seems like he's focused on getting the win. Whether he has to pass the ball around, whether he has to play defense, or whether he just has to score, he's going to do what he needs to do to win the games, which is, what needed to happen. So anyways, guys, there are a lot of analysts out there, that believe the Rockets will win the Western Conference. And whatever team wins the Western Conference is pretty much going to win the NBA Finals. Now, you have to assume that if the Rockets, start out the playoffs in the number 1 seed, which it looks like they're going to, and they make it all the way to playing against like a team like the Warriors or whatever it is, you have to assume that if they win that game, they are most likely going to win the championship, because the NBA Finals is going to be against an Eastern Conference team. Whether that's the Celtics, the Cavaliers, or the Raptors, we won't really know, but those teams are significantly weaker than any team from the Western Conference. You also have to assume that the Warriors are really going to ramp up what they're doing. So the Warriors have been injured, which is why they haven't been playing, well the past couple of games, but by the time playoffs start, they should all be back and, ready to go. And once that happens, it's not going to be looking too good for a team like, the Rockets or Thunder or whatever team they're going to end up having to play, assumingly for the Western Conference, title, which I think the Warriors are probably going to end up playing against the Rockets. It's just going to depend on how the Thunder play, the Trailblazers play, and all these different teams from the West play to make it to the Western Conference Finals. Honestly, I think the Warriors could lose to the Thunder. I think they could lose to the Trailblazers. There's a lot of teams they honestly could lose to. And I think teams like the Timberwolves and stuff are just going to weaken them, because it doesn't really matter who they play. All the teams in the top 8 from the West are pretty good. So whatever team they do end up playing against, you have to assume that they're going to be weaker each time they play. More tired, have to focus on different things. It's just going to be rough this year because they're not going to just go in there and start sweeping every team. Last year, they just swept every single team and then almost swept the Cavs in the finals. That's not going to happen this year. So, it is what it is, guys. But anyways, man, I wanted to talk about, what James Harden thinks and what the Rockets overall think, because like I said earlier, a lot of reporters think the Rockets are going to win. So you got to assume my man James Harden most likely thinks the same thing. James Harden has already talked about, having a championship mindset this year, where they want to win the finals, they want to win against the Warriors, they want to prove to everybody they are the top team. And if they do win this year, you can assume Chris Paul is most likely staying on the Rockets. Why would he want to go anywhere when they just won a championship? Now, some of the other players like Paul George and Carmelo that play for the Thunder, you don't know what they're going to do unless they win a championship. If they lose, they're probably not going to play for that team anymore. But you got to assume with how great, James Harden and Chris Paul have played this year, that regardless of what happens, they're probably going to stick together. So anyways, I just wanted to talk about the finals and, how I think the Rockets are probably going to win this year. I personally don't think the Warriors are going to win anymore after seeing just how well James Harden and Chris Paul have played. So anyways, guys, that is all I got for today's video. If you guys are new to this channel, man, make sure you guys subscribe. And that's all I got for today. Stay fresh. I'm out. Peace.
All right, what's up, everybody? What we're going to talk about today is 5 things about LeBron James that you don't know about, maybe considered a secret. You can call it what you want to, but we'll go with number 1. It happens to be with LeBron James, and it involves the Olive Garden. I was victim of this situation, if that's what you want to call it. But anyhow, he comes into the Olive Garden with his mother, his whole entourage of people, cousins, nephews, grandmas, you name it, they were there, and announces that he's gonna foot the bill for everyone. Well, let me tell you what, when it came time to pay and we go to get out of there, I end up paying for my own bill. So you tell me, where is it that he said he was going to do that? I mean, you ask me, that's pretty twisted. I mean, I could see if he didn't say he was going to do that. I didn't expect him to pay our bill, but if you're going to say you're going to do something, you better do it. That's how I feel about it. So, think what you think of it. But that's definitely something that not most people know about him. And I guess number 2 would be, you know what, before I even say number 2, let me just let everyone know that I'm from Akron. So the things that I'm telling you are things that I know, right from personal experience. And that being said, number 2 would fall under the fact that he plays for Cleveland, but yet I've seen him walk around town and everywhere else with jerseys from other teams. Now, here's how I feel. I've seen actors and, athletes wear other team logos and whether it be a hat or a shirt, whatever. But if you're a current player, you're playing for a team.